Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be easier with our support. I've been unfair to you, but honestly...
If you have business to conclude, the road and the city needs us.
Well met.
I'm listening.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey.
Hey, you.
You wish to consult me? I took up my oath long ago, when I swore bloody vengeance against any who defied Lolth. Now, I myself have sinned against the Spider Queen. Though my faith is shattered, my oath endures. I am sworn to destroy all those who serve the Absolute. When I have had my vengeance on the cult, I do not know if my oath will still hold. I do know that when I take the Absolute's power, I will not lose control of it as our enemies have. I will harness it to create a more perfect world. Any who object to the laws of that world will have no place in it, of course, and I will gladly eradicate them. I was the Absolute's dagger. I remember every throat that it held me to, and every drop of blood it forced me to spill. I take no responsibility for the lives I took. I did nothing in the Absolute's name. I was merely a weapon that it wielded. You have my sympathy. The tadpole. The Absolute. They work together like a drug. I did not feel I was compelled to act against my will. I felt ecstatic to serve. Every action seemed a deliberate choice. The best choice. Even though I could no more have resisted its commands than flesh can resist decay. Even rational minds like ours cannot reject such a powerful influence. The Absolute can make the impossible seem inevitable. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Life was crueler to him than death. It is no great wonder that he found his strength in Merkel. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I thought so too. This world is full of fools, after all. But in this instance, I was mistaken. Our visitors were not fools. They were bait. Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. In a manner of speaking, I did. The dead cough up their secrets just as well as the living. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. I recognize my flaws. Pride is certainly among them. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities, mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance. Then speak. Very well. A disparate collection of vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? It would have been better for us had she embraced Shah and claimed the power of the goddess. But it is better for Shadowheart to be free of that poisonous influence. The gods are the source of our woes. Though I concede that Shah is far from the worst of them. The Night Singer has some admirable qualities. Far more than her insipid sister. But her followers are repressed. Take the child Shadowheart. She does not even know who she is, but still manages to pity herself. The very concept of Sharan worship is self-indulgent. They would have you think every whispered word and hidden thought is of value, but it is not so. I have performed 1,000 interrogations, squeezing out the most guarded secrets held in heart, mind, and soul. I can tell you this. When the trivial parts have been whittled away and I have sifted through what remains, in most cases, a person amounts to nothing at all. He's been deprived of freedom and strong blood for so long that he is addicted to both. While those addictions have their hold on him, he is still a slave. Free. What purpose does he have that does not involve his master? He fears him, he hates him, he dreams of him, and he will either kill him or die trying. Astarion is no more free of Cazador than you or I are free of our tadpoles. He will only be free when Cazador is dead, and that is as it should be. When the time comes, we must hope that he does not only take Cazador's long life, but the power that has sustained him as well. I have encountered few Githyanki in my life. Those that I did were raiders. They croaked out pleas for mercy in their alien tongue as they died. Meeting Lae'zel makes me wish I knew more of their culture. To one who only sees the surface of things, perhaps. You should look deeper. There is a fanaticism in the Loth swarm that lends itself to chaos. They turn their blades on one another as readily as on outsiders. The Gith have stricter hierarchies and stronger commitment to a single cause. Some, like Lae'zel, question that cause. But even so, she retains the discipline of her training. The wizard? No. It is pointless. In my experience, the moment they leave their libraries, wizards have the life expectancy of a gnome in a war. Either the enemy recognizes they are a threat and kills them swiftly, or their curiosity leads them to combust while experimenting with the limits of magic. Our wizard is already in a state of suspended combustion, thanks to that orb between his ribs. I suspect it is only a matter of time before he goes up in smoke. I will reserve my social graces for those who might live long enough to appreciate them. He is exceedingly self-righteous. Amusing, considering he bound himself to a devil. Will doesn't just have blood and dirt on his hands. He has stains on his soul. Those last more than a lifetime. It is as it should be. Purity of soul and deed will not help us to survive the Absolute. I would rather be allied with a warlock than the spoiled son of a noble who has more experience with diplomats than devils. I have never known anyone so ferocious and unassailable in battle, and yet so fragile and impermanent in their very being. I often think of mortality as a curse. In time, all that I am and all that I have known and learned will be lost. In time, our cities will be dust. Karlach does not seem to have such anxieties. Perhaps because she cannot afford to. She exists in the moment, and she will burn out and be gone in a moment. There is something very beautiful about that. She is intelligent, strong, and capable as both a leader and a fighter. An impressive woman. It is a shame that she devotes all of her talents and experience to the futile cause of the Harpers. Their devotion to preserving balance is pathetic. That notion is a lie, amplified by the weak to preserve their feeble grip on the world. There are organizations like the Harpers in every realm and every culture. I despise all of them.
I was supposed to sacrifice myself to stop the Absolute. Yeah, I don't think I could have gone through with it, in truth. And I'm glad that I didn't, given what has come to light. The Elder Brain. But, more importantly, the crown that it wore. Even without seeing it for myself, I could sense it. Netherese magic. So pure, so complete. I doubted what I was feeling at first. Most Netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power. The ghost of an echo of a memory. That crown was different. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but... no matter. It exists. I must learn more of it. We need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown must have been documented somewhere. As luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep. Sorcerous Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. The only kind I have. Their collection of rare tomes is unparalleled. Netherese texts are hardly commonplace, but I'm certain they'll have one or two stashed away. You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold water, this could be the answer to all our problems.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prism and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. And what then? You are prone to impulses as uncontrollable as the gods themselves. Will you even have a say in what you do? Will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
The reckoning is upon us! The city thirsts for domination. March! Your
me.
Can't afford to let up. On I go.
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Good idea, Karlak.
Incoming.
Time to push my luck again. What's in here?
this without you.
Find a route.
Need to stay focused.
Where do I go from here?
I'm ready.
More are coming. Hurry, or we will all become thralls.
I smell blood.
Here goes nothing.
That orb's going to blow, and soon.
I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
What a charmer.
Keep your distance, girl.
My word. My little trick.
What's the plan?
It's not over. Come to the skull. Hurry. I can't hold them back alone. It's not over. Come to the skull.
I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved a child from a viper back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Ursula Night Song from her soul cage. You let me live last time we were here, though it brought Blackheath's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all proof you need. Now, help me. The God. Destroy the God. They prevent me from subduing their master. Do it now! Together, we can turn the tide. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
Of all the things to be indebted to, a bloody mind flayer.
I suppose it was considerate of you not to bring it up before. And I ask that you do not judge me for it now. I was someone once. Someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who called me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them. Rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield. The largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence. Though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call me Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive-mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus' mother to bring about the fall of the Elithian Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I never reached for you. When Orpheus' mother left, a usurper took her place. Blacketh declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blacketh wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my hold on that prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him in defiance of their teachings. Blacketh was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blacketh will be finished. very good question. One that I have been unable to answer. That Orpheus lives at all is ruinous to Blackcliff. She has done everything in her power to keep his existence a secret. That Gortash and the Chosen found out about it. This is impossible to explain. But it was important enough to them that Gortash sent me to retrieve it. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus, and find allies in the outer world. You. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. You are already more illithid than you realize. It has improved you. You seek to reverse an inevitable process. A process of evolution. When I first escaped from the Elder Brain, I too railed against the change. But the longer I have inhabited this form, the more it has grown on me. Even if my original body remained intact after I transformed, I would not return to it. Doing so would only impose limitations. As an illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You too should embrace this change. Like it or not, our chances of defeating the Elder Brain are substantially improved if you embrace your latent illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you.
Even as you say the words, you feel a lurch of disappointment. Your mind bristles with illithid potential. How could you be so cruel as to deny yourself what you want most in the world?
I felt that. It's your nature. You cannot fight it. So embrace it. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another.
A wave of disappointment, stronger than any you've ever felt. And then stillness. You have resisted your illithid instincts. For now.
You are not ready yet. Keep hold of it then. Until you are. It has enough vitality to further your evolution. And your allies. Perhaps you will be more inclined to try it when you see more of what our enemy can do. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain, and bring it under our control.
The orb hums with cerebral magic, permeable, impenetrable. Within it, the Githyanki prince is as silent as a corpse, but for the murmur of his powers being siphoned away.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something? Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never did. And never will again.
Soldier?
Go. I was hoping you'd say that.
Swoon.
So, we owe our lack of tentacles to one of the very creatures that kidnapped us. And now it's offering us power if we're willing to evolve.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now.
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prism.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle. Or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed and the sower. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his Illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well. You're full up. Dismiss someone. Well chosen. Indolence breeds madness. Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are.
Shadowheart looks different. A change of diet, perhaps?
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her.
We have a new look for a new Shadowheart. Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
Almost pleasant traveling with company, if you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe. It suits her.
Something is different about Shadowheart. New facial creases, perhaps. A fresh battle scar I hadn't noticed. Bah, it eludes me.
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves, and take their nether stones.
Baldur's Gate is right over the hills. And so is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem the world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. We will kill him, but there's more to it. Think about it. It sounds like Cazador, for all his evils, has gotten further than any of my kind ever have. He's on the verge of a miracle. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit, I think I deserve something better. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finally positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador's changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey. What's that?
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. She was sick. She had spots on her face and hands. She went to go get some herbs, and she was supposed to come back the same day. That was last 10 day, though. Oh, thank you so much. I don't have anything, and you can't do anything without any coin. I'll pay you back when I find my mum.
I know, little one, but you'll be in a big...
What in the hells was that?
Never felt an earthquake in Baldur's Gate before. What the hells?
That's an order. Why don't you protect us instead of these scruffy outlanders?
I took you for one of them for a moment. The refugees, that is. You're a recent arrival for sure, still bearing dust from the road. But you have something they lack. Dignity. These wretches have nowhere to call home, nothing to live off but what they carry, and nobody to help them but themselves. And me, of course. Indeed. You'd be shocked by the sort of things they bring with them. Gold and jewels, they can't easily exchange. Heirlooms, rarities, sentimental items, even cremation urns. Alas, you can't eat grandmother's ashes, Nor can you easily trade a golden candelabra for a bowl of soup. That is where I come in. Liquidity. Their heirlooms for my gold. Difficult to get a good day's trade done when I'm expected to keep watch for Shadowheart at the same time. Who knows when she'll finally turn up? Is that so? Well, perhaps you should retrieve her then. Your point being? There is an enterprise within the city that I help to support. I know I said I wasn't given to charity, but this place is dear to my heart. I'd tell you more, but they value discretion above all. As do I. You're like a dog with a bone, aren't you? Perhaps you are cannier than I first gave credit to be. I have some very special wares reserved for exclusive clientele, but I think you've earned a peek. Just a merchant. At least look at what's on offer before you embarrass yourself. Trade secrets. But I can guarantee you that nothing I have to offer was stolen. It was all given happily and willingly. Every last item.
To take down troublemakers, so don't make trouble.
Hi. Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
Yes! We can play Wanna Cup.
Yes! You've got a fire and everything. I can cook really good. Whatever you want. Thank you, thank you.
Worm's Crossing. We could be inside the city walls before long. And I could be back where this all started. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Worm's Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. I'd look wherever they're gathering. I wasn't expecting it. I'd join you, but things are looking wonderful. The city is close now. My former peers will be watching, no doubt. Waiting for my return. We should do what we can to find them. What they know could help us.
I just lost a wager, thanks to you.
Who are you?
Someone who bet that you'd never be foolish enough to actually show your face in this city again. But here you are. And the gold in my purse is soon to take flight. There have been whispers about you, sister. About your faith, your loyalty, your company. I can't help but feel the strangest twinge of disgust as I look upon you. Is it true? Has Our Lady forsaken you?
I know the truth. I know my parents still live. Tell me where they are, and I have no quarrel with you.
I'm afraid the quarrel is unavoidable, thanks to you. Now I must report your reappearance. If you are intent on bringing matters to a head, then seek out the House of Grief in the lower city. Though, if I was you, I'd be very tempted to just forget it all and disappear. You have some form of doing so, after all.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. Then that's where we need to go. My parents are in there somewhere.
Baldurians! Stand with me against this tide that threatens to overwhelm us!
Please just go home. You're ruining a perfectly uneventful posting with this nonsense.
The Flaming Fists are supposed to protect this good city, but they allow trash and vermin to take our homes and goods. Ah, another visitor, I see. Listen, we keep letting the likes of you in, soon there'll be no room left for any of us true Baldurians. Another bleeding heart. Piss off and take it elsewhere. Refugees can't stay here. The place was empty. Keep those thugs away from my family.
Danuvia! Get these squatters out of my house now!
Arthur, sweetheart, you paid me and my boys to be caravan guards, not cattle wranglers. If you want us to get our hands dirty, it'd be our pleasure. But that'll be extra.
I don't see why I should be explaining myself. It's my property. They are on it, unlawfully.
Look, we needed somewhere to live. This place was empty and it had walls. I've got children for tears' sake.
Well, that's all very sad, but I still don't see how...
It gets cold out there at night, Mr. Gregorio. My kids will get sick. Please, we'll stay out of your way. We just need a roof.
This is my home. I may pride myself on my philanthropy, but I draw the line at being a halfway house.
This man's indignant demeanor barely masks a seething anxiety. There's more to this situation than he's letting on.
Look, time is money, and I'm losing both just standing here. Make your call, judge, before Zenobia makes it for you. I can't let them stay here. What if the little brat gets into the basement? My basement? Oh, nothing interesting, just materials. I'm a craftsman, you see.
This man is definitely lying, and he's really hoping you don't pry any further.
Look, I have some very valuable components in there. I need to get that lot out before they damage something. Who do you think you are? Zenobia? People are lining up to break into my property. Do something about it.
You paid us to protect you and your high-quality merchandise on the road. And we've since arrived at our destination. As I said, anything else is extra.
This is the last time I hire someone from the guild. Fine. Here's the extra. Finish the job. Now, please show this meddler some of that famous Rivington hospitality.
This'll help.
Nothing important is ever easy.
A fine day for murder.
All right. You won. You won. What more do you want from me? Well, with Zenobia and the others gone, I don't suppose you'll take no for an answer. All right, they can stay. Are you happy now? Now I have to figure out what I'm going to do. A room can wait. After what you've put me through, I need a drink.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Making me sweat.
Still breathing, despite everything.
What's wrong with that name?
Nearly there now. You can see the city. Up on the hill.
It's up there and we're down.
That's why we need to walk just a little more.
With no coin and nothing to do. All the refugees. Just like that.
I know, little one, but you'll be in a big, cozy bed soon enough.
You have anything you want for supper. All the cakes. candle. I'm never allowed sweet things right before bed.
What's that? Boy.
Something over there.
My! The fates move in strange and scrumptious ways. I am delighted to see you again. After our little interlude at last light, I was worried you'd gone quite mad. And mine! And mine! Though, one thing I find quite distasteful is being kept outside our intended city. I'd quite like to get inside, but it's difficult to shuffle your way to the top of the queue when you're, well, as big as an ox. But what if I was smaller, more discreet? Maybe then a kind soul might bring me through, right in their little pocket. Ooh. This day has ended so much better than it started. Now, you don't worry about me. I'll be a good, quiet little apple you can tuck into the corner of your pack, just until we're inside the city walls. Hail, Cyric! I can't wait to get inside.
You did me a real favor clearing all those ghouls out of Moonrise. That old bonebag Ketherick had some fancy junk stashed behind all the cobwebs and piles of gore. Wish I could tell you. We're stuck out here, but most of the action is beyond Worm's Crossing. Didn't you? Figured we only got the scraps you didn't have the strength to carry. Still, we got some decent stuff. Made a nice change from picking through your dusty pockets. Would I try to fool a sharpie like you? Have a look. Stay away from...
How come all the grown-ups look at me sideways?
Because they think you're a thief, Murkon. Duh.
But I'm not a thief. Am I? Wish I could ask them all.
through this. Not quite sure why you stood up for us like that, but I won't say I'm not grateful. Thanks. And may Torm keep you. Same way lots of us did. Trying to get away from the army of the Absolute. If you had the chance to put a roof over your family's heads after being on the run for Torm knows how long, wouldn't you? We will stay. For now. I just hope he doesn't pay anyone else to come sniffing round. Thank you. And may Torm keep you. You're the first person in this city to have our backs. Thank you. Really. At least we'll have some peace.
Good thing you sorted that out. I was this close to chucking a knife right between that trollop's eyes.
Now we don't have to leave. I'm gonna build a big house for all the rats. It's gonna be really fancy. You'll see.
Being arrested for theft. If you have a defense, make it now. You're free to go.
Silent to avoid causing trouble.
Careful, I might. Hardly a challenge.
Never a dull moment.
Threaten us. To threaten the children. Cinta was trembling.
That's curious.
She's not brave, Ben. She's just learned to stay silent to avoid causing trouble.
Someone's left a
This
trap.
place is hungry for blood.
Watch your back. Someone's left a trap out for us. Someone's left a trap. Someone doesn't like visitors. Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us. A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors. Crooked touch.
No one back home will ever believe this. Looks like his generosity is compromised.
I don't like being cooped up inside, but it's what's best for Cinta. I'll make sure she knows you.
Oh, I could go for a good meal.
I don't like being cooped up inside.
Nothing hurts anymore.
I was sure we were affected.
It's up there and we're down here.
That's why we need to walk just a little more.
Someone there? It's a trap. And a nasty one at that.
What are you? Explosives? In toys? You have 2 seconds to explain yourself before you're under arrest.
Halt, citizen! This is a restricted area, and I'm the Duke's bedwarmer. Follow me, please.
What? How do I know you're not the one who planted those explosives? You're a rotten liar. I'll let the boys at Worm's Rock deal with you. Donations? If you don't have anything to donate, you can get going. What? Who'd put explosives in toys? Very well. Show me these explosive toys, then. Toys trapped to injure children. It's abominable. Gods, any one of us could have been blown to smithereens. I don't need you standing here. Who would do such a thing? I thought this assignment was going to be done.
Just like old times.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
Time for a little death.
Soldier.
My faith will guide me.
Trust no one.
time to dally. This way.
Don't burn yourself. Let's go.
Don't touch me. Let's go.
Let's get on with it. Got to press on.
What's cooking?
One step at a time. Oh, for a skeleton key.
What's next? No time for dally.
Let's march!
time to waste. Onward then. Let's see.
Attention! Yeah!
What now?
There is work to do.
Ought to do it. Where to?
Over here.
Can't afford to stay idle. On I go.
This isn't a glorious post, fists, but it isn't hard for
criminals, and we won't have them.
File a report, and I'm sure the medic will deal with it.
Don't take that on yourself. You know who's really responsible. We made it alive to Baldur's Gate. Almost, anyway. But I can't complain. When I look at Bex and realize she's safe,
It's hard not to weep from joy.
We made it through hell, twice. I know now that as long as Danis and I stick together, we can do anything.
I'm really worried about Umi.
They got me signed up to learn to make pots, which is dumb. I'd rather learn how to kill cultists. And I bet you'd back me up on that.
Hail, friend. Fine day, isn't it? Forgive me, you're in no mood to talk about the weather. Your journey here was a hard one, no doubt. Is this your first time in Baldur's Gate? Is that so? Enigmatic soul, aren't you? A word of advice, then. You might not get as warm a welcome as in days gone by. Used to be you'd arrive knowing you'd a full belly and a warm bed waiting for you. Not anymore. These days, there's barely enough to go around. Add the refugees on top and, well, folk aren't feeling too generous. I've been asking myself the same question. I wouldn't be the first to interfere. Some well-to-dos in the city donated enough to see the newcomers right for the time being. Only they didn't bother helping everyone else. Locals going without while strangers feast. It stoked the fire, all right. Some Baldurians are kicking up a fuss round the front of the barn as we speak. If I wasn't wearing this uniform, I'd walk round there and teach them a lesson they'd never forget. What peace. If no one steps in, there'll be bodies piled high in the streets before long. Those refugees have been leeching on our city for too long. If we don't show them that we mean business, they'll bleed us dry. We need to march round the front and kill every last one of them. Let's see them eat our food with their guts on the floor. What do you say? Why does it matter? Innocence makes the blood run clearer.
Look at it, come crawling home, hands stained with the Bone Lord's soot. And you carry his stone. Have you lost your nerve, my blood-starved sibling? Oh, did I mangle your skull too terribly? I could end it now. But I'll be patient. Father will see us together again. He will see you bleed.
So Orin is a shapeshifter. How long have you been watching?
Don't take that on yourself. You know who's really responsible.
Burn away the shadows she hides in. Tear off her mask.
and you'd reveal her for what she is, a shivering child. The air grows ever warmer, the hum of life within it louder. It may yet hatch, though not soon by my estimation. Give it to me. Perhaps it will fare better under my care. Only if you want me to roast you over a campfire, using my blade as a spit. But it is true that I feel some manner of responsibility for this unhatched whelp. After we free Orpheus, we can revisit the matter. If the egg hatches beforehand, well, we will shield it from the Lich Queen's zealots. Whatever may come, I will not let Vlaakith poison the fledgling with lies. Thank you. I know it is a mere egg. It may never hatch. If it does, it might beget a failure. But it might also beget a fighter. And I intend to give it the chance.